We have got for you today a 1986 944 Turbo. Check this thing out. We are going to go over this car top to bottom, front to back. We're going to go through everything, and we're going to let you bid with confidence on this car. So we are now going to be underneath the car here. We'll just do a quick underpass of the car. It does have some different shocks and springs on it. There is some oil leaks from this car, pretty minor. I have not wiped this car down at all. So you can see, like, maybe there's like one oil drip right there off this pan. It looks like maybe from the front timing cover / front crank seal area. It's leaking a little bit, like all 944s do. Over here we have, you can look up in this direction. We can see our turbocharger right up there. The turbocharger is not leaking. That's good. You can see our oil return line for the turbo. It's a huge oil return line there, going right back down into the oil pan. Clutch has been replaced on this car, and the timing belt has also been replaced on this car, both in the last 500 to 1,000 miles. We've got the original catalytic converter right here. And then this is the turbo. Here's the wastegate. The wastegate dumps down here, and then it dumps back into the exhaust after the catalytic converter. Here is one of the cooler features of a 944. The transmission is mounted on the back of the car. So that's how these cars get like that perfect 50-50 weight ratio balance front to rear. So that's why this car handles so magically. We've got rear Bilstein shocks, front Bilstein shocks as well. All factory 944 turbo, like for example, the rear brakes. These are nice Brembo rear calipers. Those are just factory 944 turbo stuff. Also factory front Brembo calipers, 944 turbo. If we come up here and inspect some of the coolers, like this up here, this is probably the engine oil cooler right here. It's not leaking. We have our radiator up here. We don't have any leaks from any of that area. So on a 944 turbo, we have our camshaft housing right here. It's the same camshaft housing as a standard 944. We have our distributor cap and rotor mounted right to the front of the camshaft. The timing belt runs right inside this cover and then all the way down, along with a balance shaft as well. So there's our turbo intercooler right there. It's stacked up in between the engine coolant radiator and also the AC condenser out here in the very front. This car has an airflow meter, an air door. It also has over here, it has the Rogue tuning kit. This is a GM map sensor. The computer is upgraded along to refine the fuel and ignition management much better than a stock 944 turbo. A little bit different fuel pressure to run and all that. This has been converted to 134. This is a 134A fitting. I will let you know if the AC works or not. And then we have our expansion tank bottle. All 944s are right here on the fender, just like that. And our brake master cylinder right here. So this car has 100,540 miles on it. You can see the dashboard has no cracks in it. It's not warped. The interior in this car, it looks and feels like a 30,000 mile car. This also has a sunroof. The sunroofs on these just fold up. Here's our sunroof button right here. The icons are worn off a little tiny bit, but that's all right. So let's see if this guy works. Push it up like so. Okay, yeah, it goes up. It goes down, never to be used again. When that stuff breaks, it's a pain. Over here, we have our engine coolant temperature gauge, gasoline gauge, speedometer, tachometer with the bar meter, which is how many bar of boost we're getting, engine oil pressure, and then our alternator voltage output. So we have our power windows over here. They work on both sides. Here we have our HVAC control. So I'm going to turn the AC on and see what happens here. So if we turn that on 1, we do have fan speed. 2, it gets higher. 3, it gets even higher. And 4 works as well. So all 5 fan speeds work, including off. We're going to turn the AC on. There's the AC button. I heard the RPM differ right there. And so now we are just going to go off and go for a test drive down Highway 101. And we're going to see how this car drives, runs, shifts, upshifts, downshifts, brakes, turns, all that kind of stuff. The shift from first to second is nice. Downshifts into second well. That's good. It also lugs along nicely, like in third gear. You just barely roll onto the throttle. It doesn't lug too bad. It moves well. And if you guys are watching from somewhere else in the world, outside of North America or even inside of North America, here is the iconic Highway 101 that we're pulling up to right now. Oh, there's the cops, so we can't peel out. I wasn't gonna peel out anyways. But this is Encinitas right here. We're headed south. We're about 10 miles north of La Jolla and about 30 miles north of the Tijuana Mexican border. And our 1-2 shift is awesome. It's good. It's not slow or anything. So if you look off to the right, this is a super cool shot of the Pacific Ocean. You can see the point way out there. That's La Jolla Cove. And you have Solana Beach and Del Mar in between us. And this is like one of the best test driving spots, in my opinion, in the world. All the surfers are out, the surf is up. And let's see if I can get just a little tiny bit of speed for an upshift. So if we go into 5th gear, how to really test these synchros out is you want to upshift and you also want to downshift, because downshifting can be just as difficult as an upshift. 3rd gear is always the most problematic gear. So I'm going to be going here at 50 miles an hour and I'm just going to shove it into 3rd gear, let the clutch back out, and it went into 3rd gear, no grinding, release the clutch release perfect. So that's good. It upshifts and downshifts very well. It says we're at 2 bar. I don't know how accurate that gauge is. The gauge just kind of goes over to 2 and kind of stays there. 2 bar is a lot of PSI. It's about 29 PSI. So it accelerates quick. It's cool. Let's see, is our AC cold? It is cold. The AC is cold, so that's good. And it's got 134 in it, so that's cool. So the car starts building lots of boost at around 3,000 RPM, which brings our lag curve way down from where a stock one is. Usually the stockers will start boosting later than 3,000. This one at 3,000, it starts boosting really nice and hard. That's all part of the Rogue tuning kit. It does have an aftermarket radio. We're gonna push tuner here. There we go. Some Nelly. So the stereo system leaves much to be desired. It's got these factory speakers down here. If you want like a big booming sound system, you'd have to change it. The brakes on this car work very well. The pedal's high. The car stops very well. It stops quickly. The clutch pedal feels good. All the controls on the car, you know, steering, pedals, throttle pedal, shifter, everything is sorted out on this car. I'm not feeling any problems with any of it. There's no nastiness on there's no clunking or clunking from the suspension. It all feels very good. Okay, so we are going to paint meter the paint on this car, on the 944 Turbo. And what this is doing is measuring it in mils. A mil is 1/1,000,000th of an inch. So what it's doing is it's just gonna bounce a signal through the paint down to anything magnetic. So because paint is not magnetic and the steel underneath it is, it's saying that right here it's 14.5 mils, which is 14.5 millionths of an inch. So factory paint is somewhere around 6 or 7 mils thick. So we know this hood has been repainted. So that's 14.5 there. Right here it's 14.5. We come out to the fender, it's 14.5. And if we come out here, it's 12. And then we always go way low down here. We've got 8. So that's how they blend. That's how they blend the paint. The paint comes heavy on right here. When they blend it, they feather the paint down. That's why it's thinner there. It's 13 here, and it's 8.5 there. It's 11 here, 9 there. 8 here, and I'm gonna go above the vinyl line, right? So if you put it on the vinyl line, it'll be super thick. So you go 12.5 there. You can't even read it, it's so thick right there. That's because of the vinyl, so don't try to measure on top of the vinyl. Right back here, it's 9. Up here in the C pillar, it's 9.5. It's 9 there. It's 8.5 there. It's 8 there, and 7.5 there. If we walk around the back of the car, right underneath the deck lid, it's 9.5. Right next to the turbo, it's 7.5. Over here, it's 11.5. And right above the vinyl on this side, we've got 12.5. And right here in the C pillar, it's 9.5. Come over here, it's 8.5. Up here it's 7.5. Do the same thing right here. 9, 6, 9, and 6, and 15, and 9. We'll come way up here. Can't read there. Can't read there. 16 here. Can't read there. Can't read there. Can't read there. 21 there. I can tell you right here, there might be just a slight little bit amount of Bondo filler. That's why it can't pick up a paint thickness right here. So the entire car has been repainted. The paint looks very, very nice on this car. The paint is shiny, smooth, black on black. The tires are brand new. Extreme Contact Sports by Continental. 944 turbo front bumper. So this car is all checked out. It's good to go. A couple of the, this car has a full stack of original service records. Here is the 1,000-mile service that happened back in February of 1986. The delivery date was 1/8 of 86. And then we even have the first oil change that happened on 7/14 of 86. So tons of records. The original window sticker comes with the car. And the warranty and owner's manual booklet in the vinyl bound case. And then also Black Forest, they do lots of Porsche repair here in San Diego. They did a water pump and timing belt back at 99,950 miles. The car has like 100,500 on it right now. So the timing belt has 500 miles on it. And that was done back in 2016. So if you like this car, you like what you see, if you have any questions, you can either call us or you can drop us any questions in the comments section. If you want to see something specific, something photo specific underneath, we can take pictures, we can send it to you, anything you need. So bid with confidence.